Welcome to my first impressions video for this Kocaso MX780 tablet. First of all, I'd like to say that when you pay a low price for a cheap tablet made in China, you can't expect to get top marks in every single area. However, this is going to come as close as you can get, I believe, for the price. Overall, I'm extremely happy with this. There have been a couple disappointments. I have a couple things that I'm still trying to figure out. But overall, this does what I want it to do. As I stated before, I got it so that I could read and play simple games in bed and watch YouTube videos in bed. And that's all I really ask of it. First, I'll talk about the things that have been a little bit of a disappointment to me. The first thing I noticed when I started using it is that although this is glass, when you press on the edges, it's soft. It feels very soft, like there's nothing supporting the glass underneath as there is in the main screen area. It feels just soft, like there's nothing under there. So I've been using extreme care with this. Make sure the cat doesn't jump on it, whatever. When I set it down face down. The glass does not feel as strong or sturdy as it does in other tablets that I've had. The second thing that I've noticed is I've used it for a week, and I got it a week ago yesterday, and over time these buttons, which were nice and sturdy before, you can hear, hopefully you can hear that, just gently running my fingers over. They've loosened up a bit. They still work. It's not a big problem, but you can hear they've loosened up a bit. Ditto with the camera. It rattles in the housing. There are two larger concerns of mine. One of them is that my bedroom is 55 feet from the modem. I don't have any problems with Wi-Fi with any of my other tablets I've had. With any of my laptops or netbooks or anything. Never have I had a problem getting good Wi-Fi in the bedroom 55 feet away. However, it's not the same. One of the reasons I got this was so I could watch YouTube videos in bed. I can't. It buffers continuously. Web pages load incredibly slowly, and they stop and they hang up. Some pages give me error messages because they can't load. So that's kind of a disappointment. It does not have a very strong Wi-Fi signal puller in or thing. I can watch YouTube videos and I can watch them out here and they play beautifully. I can watch full episodes of shows. They play beautifully out here near the modem, where I sit is 6 to 8 feet from the modem. The other disappointment is the battery. It claims a 3-hour battery life, and I found that I'm lucky to get 3 hours. Now there's a lot of variables that go into battery life. One of them could be this 3D wallpaper, but I do stop my apps when I'm done with them. I always, make sure that I have no notifications set up. Nothing is set up to sync automatically. Nothing is set up to notify me, no email, no social sites, nothing. That's all turned off in every one of the apps. I keep the screen brightness at its lowest setting, number one, because this is an incredibly bright screen. Right now I turned it up just to make sure you could see it on the camera. Okay, come on, show me. There it is. I have it just past half, but even on low I can see it quite well, and on high it's almost too bright. I would use that like in the car on bright sun. I mean, that's very bright. So but usually I keep it on the lowest setting. I can go to bed at night, put it to sleep. So the screen goes off, it sleeps. I wake up in the morning. If I go to bed with it at 100%, I wake up in the morning and it's about 30%. I have no idea why that is. I don't know what could possibly be draining the battery that badly. I do know that 3 hours for a charge is optimistic if it's in continual use. I keep the charger right here in the living room because I'm having to charge it continually throughout the day. The first 2 times I charged it, I let the battery drain completely, then charged it to 100%. I don't know, if you have any suggestions, I would just love to hear them. I understood that the battery would only be 3 hours, but I'm lucky to get 3 hours. However, it does charge fairly quickly. It goes from 0 to 100 in 2 hours or a little less. So, you know, at least it charges fairly quickly. But if I was going to have this with me out and about throughout a day, it would not last like my past tablets have. I've never had a tablet with such a short battery life. So those are the things that have been a little bit of a disappointment to me. Now let's get to the rest. I bought this to watch YouTube videos, to play some simple games, and to read Bible studies in my Kindle. For those things, it does an admirable job. The screen is very easy to see. The games play quickly. I don't have any real difficult games, card games, a cryptogram game, hidden objects, you know. Luxor is probably the biggest game I have, but they play very quickly. I was a little concerned at only having a half a gig of RAM instead of a full gig like I've had in the past. That's not been an issue. I am careful to make sure my apps are not running when I finish with them, and that has not been a problem at all. I've never had a memory issue whatsoever. I've put apps on here and I've never ever had a problem with any of my apps. They all run beautifully well. One of the tablets that I had gotten, every single thing that I put into it said not compatible, not compatible, not compatible with this device. And there were enough other issues with it that I wasn't going to bother sideloading apps, so I just sent it back. But this one, I've only had, I think, 2 apps that I had to sideload. And they went in and installed and are working just fine. Overall, I don't have many complaints. The ones that I'm just pointing out to you are not because I'm being picky, but because I want you to be aware. Maybe things like this would bother you, like they don't bother me. I'm being extraordinarily careful with it. These cheaper Chinese tablets often have issues inside with the power port in here coming loose inside, or the earphone port or whatever. And so I'm being extraordinarily careful with all of that when I plug it and unplug it, and I make sure it's somewhere it's not going to get pulled on, just because I want it to last as long as I can. But seriously, for a $55 tablet, if I get 6 months out of this, I'll be fine with that. If I get a year, I'll be delighted. If I get more than that, I'll be thrilled. I just want to address the sound. This little speaker gives the type of sound that you would expect. It's tinny and it's very poor sound, but that's what you would expect. Oops, didn't mean to start a game. Using the earbuds that come with it, the sound is, it sounds very tinny and shallow, for lack of a better word. I did put an equalizer on here and I've been messing with it and I can improve it somewhat, but this will never be Dolby. I mean, if you're buying this to listen to symphonies and you have, you know, and you're a very discerning music lover, you won't like this. For most listening, you know, just for listening to the radio for background noise while I'm, you know, reading or whatever, it's perfectly adequate. The quality of the front-facing camera is, as expected, very poor. It's got very low resolution, and it's what you would expect from that. The rear-facing camera is, I think, 2.0 megapixel. And actually, for this, I was surprised that with enough light, it takes a real decent picture. I've, you know, taken some pictures of my pets to put on Instagram or whatever. I have parrots, and it brings out even the subtle colors of their plumage. So I'm pretty pleased with this rear-facing camera, even though that's not why I bought the tablet. But it's nice to be able to take shots to put up on Instagram and have them turn out well. Overall, I'm very pleased with this. It does a great job compared to others of similar price range. I just want to show you real quick. My husband has a Samsung Samsung Tab 3, and as you can see next to it, this is slightly smaller. It's a little bit longer. It's about 1/4 of an inch narrower. And he obviously has his screen set to go off very quickly. The picture is about 1/4 of an inch, or the screen display is about 1/4 of an inch narrower from edge to edge. So there is some difference between a 7-inch tablet and a 7-inch tablet, but when I'm using this and I don't have that right next to it, I don't notice a difference. I know that there are dozens, if not more, of these inexpensive imported tablets out there. I have tried some, and I will say that of them all, this one is probably of better quality than many. The screen is very easy to read. It's especially bright. Because of the battery issues, I do keep the screen turned down, but even when I have it turned up, I have it turned up now so that you can see it on the camera very easily. Most of the time I use it, I keep it turned down, and even turned way down, I can see it just fine. I'll load up a game here just so that you can see. This is a see, everything is loading nice and quick. Of course, they have all their screens that you have to look at their screens first. Let's see that everything is nice, and all of that works. There's music in the background even playing, and everything is real quick. And if you're looking for an inexpensive imported tablet that is not of very poor quality, this is one that you may want to consider. Great display, easy to look at, easy to see, kind of poor sound if you're a music aficionado. It takes fairly decent pictures with the rear camera. The front camera is perfectly adequate for Skyping. It hooked up to the Wi-Fi nicely, and as long as you're close enough, it's zippy, it's fast, it loads pages quickly. No problems there. For the price range, it's certainly one of the best I've tried. Well, thank you for watching this review. If you're considering this tablet, I hope that it helps you. Certainly, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I always check my comments multiple times a day. Thanks so much for watching my review of the Kocaso MX780.